Alzheimer's, a Devastating Disease by Rajiv Oak, 2009. Have you ever imagined you can't remember anything? You can't remember your own name, your family's name, or you don't even know what's happening in the world. Alzheimer's is a debilitating disease that has no cure. It robs a person of memory and intellect, not allowing the simplest tasks to be completed. Alzheimer's rarely attacks people under the age of 60, so you guys don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
President Reagan suffered from this disease. Our own president suffered. So this raised funds to fund research for the disease. Alzheimer's is a disease that affects the brain, and it continues to progress and gets worse as years go by. Alzheimer was the person who first described this disease at a medical meeting in Europe in the 1900s. Before this, Alzheimer's was categorized as dementia and not a disease that required medical attention. It took many years for scientists to figure out what causes AD. The primary signs of AD and one of the causes of AD is the buildup of plaques. Destruction of the neurons results in changes of behavior and personality and memory loss. These plaques are built up by bellatamine. Bellatamine is the larger fatty protein surrounding the nerve cell. Plaques kill the neuron, the simplest part in the brain. Another contributor to AD is genetics. If your parents had AD, you have more of a chance of getting AD if you did not have AD, if your parents did not have AD. Another big cause of AD is neurofibrillary tangles, twisted fibers that are inside the neurons, which weaken the neurons. As a person gets older, they may be diagnosed with cortical atrophy. Cortical atrophy contributes to Alzheimer's. Cortical atrophy shrinks the cerebral cortex. The causes of the prevention of Alzheimer's may lead in the causes. Prevention. Alzheimer's does not have a cure. There is a drug, though, that scientists have developed called chlorstein inhalator. This drug temporarily relieves the signs of AD. These drugs slow down the destruction of the brain cells, but do not help the brain cells work. This drug is not taken frequently because some horrible side effects are nausea, vomiting, and weight loss. These drugs, your lifestyle, staying socially, mentally, and physically active can help you lower your risk of Alzheimer's. It's good to adopt a brain healthy hobby as it keeps your brain active and does not let it fall into idleness. Lower occurrences of some are in South Asian countries. Scientists have figured this out because they see in the things. So they know that it's lower in Asian countries because of the life expectancy, and the diet. But we don't know which one it lies in. The progress of Alzheimer's is measured in the following stages, which are very mild, moderate, moderately severe, and very severe. There are 4 warning signs. The warning signs are difficulty learning, thinking, and reasoning. 3 to 20 years after these signs settle in, the first stage of Alzheimer's, very mild. Deficit is not usually, the brain deficit is not usually seen by people. And their deficits such as misplacing car keys and remembering names. The mild stage of memory loss is noticed by others, because it gets worse. Moderate stages decrease knowledge of one's personal history, not remembering age or so on, current events, and can no longer handle complicating tasks. In this stage, the cortex starts to shrivel up. Severe stage of AD. The person can no longer survive without assistance and is disoriented with time. In very severe AD, all verbal abilities are lost and the person is not able to identify themselves and tasks like going to the bathroom, eating, and that becomes impossible to do, which leads to a state of reduced consciousness. The people who are in very severe are dangerous, and they can hurt themselves seriously. I once had a neighbor who was a famous professor. He had his mind simply active, but soon Alzheimer's took over. His family had to put deadbolts on all the doors so he wouldn't go out during the night or the day. He didn't know which one was which. Every 72 seconds, a person dies of Alzheimer's or AD. 100,000 people of AD die in the U.S. in a year, and is the sixth leading cause of death. As we push the average person's age to live farther, their risk of getting AD increases. Can something be done about this devastating disease? Will we ever find the cure? We don't have an answer yet.
Maybe.
3 questions?
Oh, Spencer, why did you pick this topic? I picked this topic because I wanted to become a neurologist when I grow up. So I thought that AD is a really devastating disease. So I thought this would be a good topic because when I grow up I want to find a cure for it. So.
Do you know anybody that has AD?
No.
What about your
I thought you said your neighbor had it.
Well, my neighbor used to have it, but then he passed away and his family moved. Alex?
What was the thing that scientists use to determine whether people have AD?
What do you mean?
You said in your report that scientists.
Oh, no. They
use
just
thing.
saw that because I said that it was in Asian countries, in South Asian countries like India, China, Indonesia. They maybe it's because of the lower life expectancy, or maybe it's because of their diet.
I thought they had a very high life expectancy because they
No.
use so many vegetables.
They have a lower life expectancy over there, and the diet maybe contribute to the factor that they have lower cases of AD. Can I take a few more questions?
You can take one more because James is still loading his.
Adam?
Well, 2 things. Is it pronounced Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's.
Oh.
Okay.
And because my grandpa and my great uncle passed away from Alzheimer's, does that mean I'll get Alzheimer's?
Most likely.
Yep.
My grandpa and my great uncle passed away from Alzheimer's.
Well, you might
Don't
have
hit
more
James.
chances than a normal
James?
person would, but you shouldn't worry.
People
You don't hit save.
It's okay, he's just
Guys,
gonna open it.
guys, I can't hear.
2 questions. Who did you interview and what does AD stand for?
AD is Alzheimer's disease. And I interviewed Dr. Rande. He's a friend of my dad from the beginning.
Okay, thank you.
I'll answer.